first, and then Tad, if you had anything you wanted to say based on what we already.
I think the first question was, I think it revolved around the same thing, man. I committed my crimes based around money, based around just living that particular lifestyle, and it was all about money to me. I ain't committed no crime that didn't have nothing to do with money. Uh, so it was my circumstances, of course. Didn't have to do it, but those are the decisions that we chose to make at those particular points in time. But I regret it every day, just because of the situations that I've been through in the process of what I had to go through after committing the crime and stuff. But money was the motivation, and it's just so much to go along with it, man. I don't want to tell a whole book in that particular question, but money was the motivation for me. And I had a parent, I had my mom, I didn't have a dad, uh, didn't have that father figure, didn't have that structure. So I did lead myself to the streets. Um, and that's where it took me.
That's a bet. Yeah, man, on you, Tad. I agree totally. I connect with you. I mean, mine was obvious. Mine was armed bank robbery, so that it's clear what the motivation was with me. Like I always told people, shit, if I'm gonna rob something, it's not gonna be the pizza store because I ain't trying to get no pizza. I'm going where the money is. But that mindset that I had then, I have the same mindset now, but I channel the energy differently. Now that same go getter, I'm coming in here, I'm coming across the counter, and I'm gonna get what I came here to get. That same mindset now I apply to this. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do something positive. I'm gonna make sure that that time that I did, that somebody's gonna learn from my experience. I'm gonna make sure that I make a positive out of this shit because I ain't did no 10 years in prison for nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let my life experience be an example for somebody else. So just like the other brothers in here, hustlers like Quan. I know Quan from when we were young. When I met him, I was no more than probably 13, 14. I had a gun and he had a gun. This is one thing I remember when I met this dude. You know what I mean? Like we met on the streets or something at the ages 13, 14, and both of us was carrying guns. So I know his story is authentic. You know what I mean? And so for us to be able to see each other now at 45 and to be out here doing something positive and using our life and our experience to try to guide the youth and deter them from going down that path, that's the type of stuff that we're into. And that's why this particular panel is who it is. The floor is yours, Tad. Is yours, Tad.
Well, like I said, our stories is pretty much similar, but for that brief minute that I do have, for the woman that has that 18-year-old youngster that's inside, that story resonated with me because I got indicted at the age of 18 for a drug conspiracy that began at 16. And I end up receiving a life sentence by taking this thing to trial. But more than anything, I want to make sure that I the get the youngsters information because he don't have a life sentence, right? I went through 20 something years of thinking that I was going to die in prison because I had no release date. So I would like to be able to reach out to that individual that's currently doing 2 years and to just give him information, give him books. I mean, using my experience to reach him. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he's coming home to a different world, and he can cultivate an exit strategy and not have to suffer the bumps and bruises that many of us suffered by not having a community. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to be able to use this minute to express to that. I don't know her name, but
Pamela.
Pamela, your son is not alone. Like, you know what I mean? I know what the prayers of a praying mother. Like I had people praying for me when I was on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Yes.
this could be a prayer that you ask for.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I want to make sure that I use this moment to let you know that you're not alone and that your son is not alone. If
Thank you
Corey
very
gets his
much.
information to me today, tomorrow,
I will.
you know, a letter will be going out to him. You know what I mean? Because I know what it feels like to be trapped behind those walls and you're looking for something. You know what I mean? So our words of encouragement could be that something that he's looking for. You know, but my story is similar to everybody's story. We made economic decisions with half cook understanding. And as a result of that, I ended up in the federal penitentiary. Now we coming back and now we know and improve. And now I'm a business owner. I'm going on 3 years of paying taxes. So I went from being a tax burner to being a tax earner. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is my story. You know what? Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, we all made bad decisions with half cook understanding. But as I said, we know and improve now, and you want to pay it forward. And one of the ways that I believe I could pay it forward is by reaching out to that young man that's on the inside right now, telling him to take control of his mind and don't put himself in a position to be used and abused. Because I know what it is to be used